Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Saturday Night at Canadian Starships. My name is Andrew. We have Ken here producing tonight. Say hi, Ken.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going, everyone? I'm trying a couple of things technologically tonight. There might be some music in the background. There might not be. I'm not sure.
I can hear some.
You can hear? Okay, because I can't hear it because I don't hear back what I'm sending to StreamYard. So, it's just a bunch of music I grabbed off of YouTube, the YouTube audio library today. So, no guarantees as to the quality of it. But essentially, we're just doing this as a test to see if a little bit of music in the background helps the stream. You know, bit of music in the background helps the stream go down, or so I say. And I've also got my chat, my YouTube chat. I don't have YouTube open, but I was able to pop out the chat. Whoa,
that's huge.
Something is wrong with my branding. This is not, somebody's changed my branding. Somebody has changed my branding on me. Where is that in StreamYard? Because that's not my style. Let's see. Throw up a chat there for a moment.
There you go. That's better. It's not, because before it looked like it was taking up the entire bottom, quarter of the screen almost. Like that. There you go. Yeah, that's our usual right there.
I don't think so. And it's the wrong coloring too. Because it's supposed to be red.
Is it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
My brand color is there, but it's not using my brand color.
Interesting. Maybe I'm just used to seeing, producing for other people and thinking blue usually is what I usually see. On the Sunday streams and whatnot.
That is weird. What did Jody just there? Did anyone notice my
phony?
My phony?
Unless he means font.
Okay,
there we
so
go.
Brand coloring has been modified.
Well, good evening, everyone. Sorry for the little bit of a delay here.
Sorry, everyone. Is this what we normally do?
There we go. That's the normal layout, yes. That most of us always seem to use.
And sorry, something weird happened with StreamYard tonight. And everything is just a little bit strange. So I'm trying to find my coloring again. I won't spend too much time on this, but we'll go with that for now. All right, yeah, very strange. Very, very strange.
Well, joining us tonight, we have Sick Jim, a.k.a. Jim.
Hope you're feeling better.
We have Captain Charlemagne, a.k.a. Jeff. We have Jody over at Trek Mods. Ken over at Ken's model shop. And that's who's speaking with us so far this evening out of 11 or 12 people.
Yeah, now I saw some What was Jody using the Trek font?
He could have been. I don't notice any difference. I think he says "Oh hoy hoy," like
Because
Mr. Burns.
he's talking about his font.
Yes. Unless he means his on his logo itself, but his logo is too small right now to see on my window. I can see there's writing in his title, but
He says yes. I'm assuming he was using the Star Trek font,
okay.
which is this one here, I believe.
Ah, yes.
But I will use the default. I think we're okay. All right, so weird things happening in StreamYard tonight. But we're not here to deal with StreamYard issues. We're here to get working on the project here. So not a whole lot's been done since the last live stream, other than I've just realigned some of the masks on the neck because we left to go on vacation to Florida. So we were not here for a week. And then this week has all been about getting back on track. So I have not had a whole bunch of time in the shop to do a whole lot. So we're basically picking up where we left off last week. So I hope that's okay with everybody.
It looks like it is.
Yeah, Jody says Edge of the Galaxy font. Got it. I use a lot of Final Frontier font.
Mary's here.
Hello, Mary. I'm assuming you'll be joining at Wonderfest again this year. All right. And chat, at least chat seems to be coming in to StreamYard as the chat's coming in. So we've got that happening for us at least tonight. I do have my tea, Earl Grey hot. Tonight we're in the Vulcan Science Officer Cup, just because I wanted more than just a couple ounces of tea at a time. So we're in this one tonight. Apologies that it's not the Picard cup. This one's just a little bit bigger. So what's everybody up to tonight? I know what I'm up to. I know what I'm up to.
Jody says his chat was delayed tonight.
Yeah, he was saying so. Quick question to everybody on the music side of things. Can you hear music? Is it too loud? Is it too loud? Is it distracting? Is it too quiet and you're not hearing it? We're not commenting on the style or quality of the music, but just wondering if you can hear it, if it's too loud, if you can't hear it at all. When is Wonderfest? Wonderfest is in 88 days.
Oh, jeez. Ouch.
Too soon. I don't know I'm going to be able to get done to bring.
Mary says, "Oh yes, Jody would be lost forever without his co-pilot." LOL. And Jody's agreeing.
So Wonderfest this year, Wonderfest is May 30th and 31st. That's the Saturday, Sunday. But obviously people arrive Friday. Sometimes people arrive for Thursday. People stay till Monday. But the actual event is Saturday, Sunday, May 30th to 31st in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, I do believe
Crown Plaza Hotel.
Oh, sorry about that. I do believe they do. In the past, they have done events on the Friday. That's why people show up on Thursday. Like sometimes I think they've done like a painting.
There's a couple of things. Yeah. Let's see. Jody says true, very true. Let's see. Cosmic Quest Hobbies is working on digital files for 3D printing for my current build. Very cool.
Good to hear, Russ.
Remind me what that is, because I have the memory of a sieve sometimes when it comes to this stuff.
Oh, we have Ben's Builds is here.
Welcome. So Ken's Model Shop says, I picked up the 1400 scale Enterprise D in translucent plastic from Cult TV Man website. Very cool. And Ben's Build says, I'm hoping to have a model finish to bring to Wonderfest, but I may also be moving cross country for a new job before then. So who knows? Yeah, life is difficult. Life gets in the way. A large combat vessel. Okay. What genre of large combat vessel?
Science fiction.
That's the question. That's the question. Or what property? What IP?
Well, he does make some of his own.
Yeah. Let's see. So, Jody, I have reaching under my desk. So this came. Nope, that's not it. That's the wrong thing. That's what I get for reaching under my desk without looking. This came. It's very dusty. This came just with a box of stuff, of model kits that I got off of like Facebook Marketplace or something. And it has, now these parts have been assembled and somebody has painted them, but it has the parts. If you want these scrap spare parts.
Oh, it doesn't have the full ship?
It has this. And it has this.
Mm-hmm.
And it has these. So if I mean,
it's a full ship.
You'd have to take these apart, and you would probably repaint them. Well, you would repaint them and everything. But I mean, they're just spare parts that were just extra bonus that came with a bunch of models that were actually useful. So I mean, if there's anything in here that you want to add to or use for your build and you don't mind waiting till Wonderfest, I can just bring them along with me and then you can just pop them in your car, you know? I don't know that it's worth trying to ship those out to you, but
Captain Charlemagne, aka Jeff, says he's working on his 3900 scale baby starship. Andrew, quick question: when painting TOS era ships, what shade of gray were they? Was it darker or lighter shade?
TOS era is a very light shade, but it depends on what reference you're using. It's anywhere between a very white, like a cool white gray, to a cool, slightly greenish tinge of gray.
Yeah, I've seen people say either Air Force gray, like a light Air Force gray, or I've also seen like the Ensign Chair when he was doing his checking for the colors on the TOS Enterprise. He was saying the Imperial Japanese Navy gray, which is a greenish gray from World War II on the Japanese ships.
Okay. So yeah, I haven't. It's been a very long time since I've built a TOS ship. So if I was building one, I would have to. I'd have to do all the research.
Yeah, and the Imperial Japanese Navy gray, or IJN IGN gray, is a Tamiya color, standard color. Cosmic Quest is Russ says his combat vessel is from his own universe.
Very cool.
And then, of course, Jody is saying, Cosmic Quest universe, and he says, "Awesome, Andrew." Ooh, and then he says, "We'll talk later." Thank you, Andrew. And
All right.
Jody's also saying that the one from Viejo is pretty accurate as well. There we go. Yeah, so Ken's Hobbyman says the Tamiya Japanese Navy gray is XF12. Thank you, Ken.
What was the last thing you said?
The Tamiya Japanese Navy gray XF12.
Okay. Oh, you were saying thanks to Ken. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like. So I've just got chat. I've got the YouTube chat, just the chat in a window, and it looks like everything's keeping up, which is good.
Yeah.
We're doing okay.
Yeah. No one else seemed to be having a problem the past week. I don't know if it kind of got fixed a bit. Maybe Donnie was having an issue. I can't remember. Was there an update to StreamYards? Maybe.
No idea. I do not know.
Jody's going to check the name of the Viejo paint.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to try something here because right now, the way I have this, you're not going to be able to see what I'm going to be doing.
All right.
I'm going to give something a try here. Oh, and you can't see.
And it looks like your face cam froze in the small.
Yeah. Well, the camera itself is not frozen. And I can look at this. Watch this. I'm doing a magic trick. I'm in multiple places.
Oh, it unfroze.
It unfroze. Okay.
Just as you were doing it. Maybe it realized.
It did not want me to do. It did not want me to do a magic trick.
It did not. Jeff says, I see. I was going to use light ghost gray, but IJN gray I can get. Thanks for the help, guys. You're welcome. Glad we can help. And Jody says we had issues on Donnie's stream. So Donnie's stream was still having issues with the comments.
How can I do this?
Jody thinks you also need the transporter sound like he has.
I need the transporter sound like he has.
On his stream, he has that is one of his downloaded sound effects. Is the transporter.
Okay. That's cool.
He also has the, the bosun's whistle for Captain on the Bridge. He had the photon torpedo. Yep, he had the torpedo sound. What else did he have? I'm trying to remember. Photon torpedo. I'm sure Jody will remind me. I think there was one more.
Bear with me, please. I am just attempting to make this stream just a little bit better for everybody.
What kind of bear is it?
Polar.
Ooh, they're nasty.
Yeah. I'm just looking for a little tiny piece of wood wedge. So I had one around here, but I can't seem to find it. That's disappointing.
Jeff says, so StreamYards or YouTube is being buggy right now when it comes to live streams. I mean, bound to happen every now and then.
Yeah, I like StreamYards. I was a little worried about it earlier tonight because I was trying to upload music to StreamYard and it completely flaked out on me. And then it I couldn't get into the studio. I couldn't do anything in StreamYard. And I had to just leave it for a while. And then eventually I was able to get back into StreamYard. But
And Jeff says, all bears are nasty, Ken. I disagree. Teddy bears are not nasty. Care bears are not nasty. Gummy bears are not nasty. That's just 3 examples. Black bears are usually pretty cowardly. They'll usually run. Unless, of course, you get in between a black bear, mama bear, and some cubs.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for the delay here, everybody. I'm trying to to do something here to make it so that you can see what I'm doing. Oh, found what I need. And hopefully this will work. Because the issue that we have with the setup here is that you can never quite see when I'm working kind of under a piece of the model. That's so when the model is hiding the work, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
When I'm trying to get working in here, you can't see it because this part of the model is hiding it. But let's see if this helps. Actually, I think this is going to work. It's just I have to position the camera so that you can actually kind of see what I'm working on.
Jody says he uploaded the Trek sounds to Tool Time in Discord.
Okay. So tell me what you think of this shot.
It's a pretty good shot.
There we go. Hopefully that was worth the wait. It might be a little jiggly. I do apologize if it's a little bit jiggly.
What area of the ship are you going to be working on tonight? Just peeling?
Right here. Yeah, I'm going to start by peeling.
Okay, then
It's
we've
very
got a good
appealing.
angle. But it is a very shaky cam.
Yes. Let's see if I can do better for you here. I think I can actually do a little bit better. Hey, you can see what I'm doing. Hey, I'm working here.
Hey, I'm working here. And Jeff's asking Jody a question about his backgrounds for his ships. Ah, so that's even better angle.
Yeah. All right. Now, what I got to do is, yeah, things are a little bit jiggly, but.
And Blair is here. Hey, Blair. He says,
Welcome,
hey, all.
Blair. How's it going? I saw the CC of the email to Andy. That's exciting that you're gonna try out the Inner Light system on your regular one. Very exciting to see how that works, how that turns out for you. All right, I need to double check that. Let's see. I have to double check the video I last filmed for this, which is. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Blair says it's ambitious, the lighting kit.
It's not too bad. If I've done this right, you might be able to hear. Well, actually, no, you won't be able to hear the audio. But everybody was here for this. Okay. All right. I just wanted to check to make sure I didn't need to film anything while doing this. I mean, I could film it. All I need to do is press record. And I can always voice over it later. So I'm checking to see what piece I need to remove. Where is my tweezer? Here's my tweezer. So first piece I'm going to remove is this piece right here. First one removed. we go. I just need a piece of paper, something to put all this scrap mask on. Of course, I did not grab a scrap piece of paper for that. If I do any, Ken, if I include this in the video, I'm just going to voice over it.
All right.
So
Gordon's
don't worry.
here.
Yeah, don't worry about being silent.
Yeah, I was trying to be quiet. I'm like thinking, okay, well, what's happening. Gordon's here.
Ooh, this is a big piece.
Now, is this? Oh, I guess yeah. If you're doing a voiceover, then we're not worried about the music in the background.
Right.
And although it seems like the music's getting a little louder,
could be the individual track.
it could be.
I'm just checking my work. Making sure I'm pulling the right. Ah!
Oh.
I don't think that was supposed to come. So what do we do if that in that case? We gingerly put what we've just pulled back so we can see where the piece that came that wasn't supposed to come needs to be placed back in. Oh, you must have your tea or Earl Grey hot with you.
No, I should make some tea because I'm feeling under the weather, but yes, I'm just drinking lots of water. So hopefully that'll help. And Jody says, just telling Jeff that he usually finds a video on YouTube of space, and he puts his model in front of his TV and takes a picture. Infinite backgrounds.
I need a little bit more light.
That is washing it out a little bit on the camera, just so you're aware.
Okay. This one piece that was not supposed to go anywhere. I might have to just not worry about camera here for a moment. My apologies.
Jeff says, so while I think it's cringe, I've made the choice to go ahead and watch all of TOS, although I will admit it's been a challenge, but if I can make it through Discovery, I can make it with TOS.
Just remember, TOS was a different time.
It was the 60s. Technology was different. What they thought would happen in the future was a lot different.
Yeah, there we go.
Their budget wasn't very good. A lot of times they were barely getting the script finished just before they had to film, or still finishing the script while filming.
or Gene Roddenberry's lawyer. Here, I should have just placed it by eye the first time there. I placed it by eye, and it was a lot better. So I'm just gonna verify this.
Blair says, try Academy. Yikes.
Yeah, Academy. They've got a good premise. Sorry, I'm kind of under the other enterprise here.
Not a problem. But the execution was not as good as the premise.
There is some gold that they could have mined, but it's been lost in the teenage drama and the colloquial language. Yeah, I think they've missed the mark on it in some key ways. I think there's things they could have done with it, and it could have been great. I think you could keep the premise, you could keep the characters, and you could make some key changes in the writing that would make it so much more Star Trek.
Blair says, Kurtzman, bye-bye. Enough said.
It's a shame that the era of Star Trek has kind of been what it is.
Unfortunately. David James is here. He says, hey, Andrew and gang, I'm just working on modding and repainting my Home Depot R2-D2 right now. That sounds cool. I've seen people doing that in videos. It just looks like it's a perfect platform to do that with.
Sorry, I'm just verifying which ones I have to pull here.
Jody says he has to agree with the dialogue issues.
Yeah, it's too colloquial, and I'm not the only person who has felt that way.
Blair says, bring back Matalos. He did a great Picard season 3. And Jody says they should have hired Frakes to head up Star Trek.
Well, did Blair mean Terry?
Matalos?
Who did he say?
Matalos.
Oh, Metalis.
Metalis? Okay, there we go.
Yeah, Terry Metalis. Terry knows what he's doing. But he also worked on Star Trek during the Berman era, right? So he's got that DNA.
Ken says, I have 3 translucent starships in my stash. Enterprise D, E, and Voyager. He said, and Voyager is 1/1000 scale. Okay. Jeff says, wonder why they went to the 32nd century setting. I think there was a missed op with not doing the Untold era. Big miss in my opinion.
Well, I will give you my opinion on the 32nd. Is it 32nd century?
That's what he said. I'm not sure myself.
So whatever that time period is, I think my opinion, and just my opinion. So my opinion, looking into your eyes, my opinion is that that's where Discovery should have started. If they wanted to do their own thing with Star Trek, they should have started it way out in the future. They could have done anything they wanted to with the technology. They could have done anything they wanted to with the alien races, because who knows what's changed over the time. Because we know, for example, the Klingons, smooth heads, we don't talk about it, right? So they could have done anything they wanted to had they not tried to shoehorn it into what I would consider a period, should have been a period piece. So
for Klingons, I really love the movie era / TOS era. Let's see. I'm falling behind here on some comments. Blair said, yeah, sorry I did. I'm not sure. I can't remember what you were referring to. I apologize.
Oh, because I was asking if he was referring to Terry.
Okay, yep. Then he says, yep, because he loves Trek and TNG.
Yeah.
Jody agrees, and then Blair agrees as well.
Well, and they had Metalis Prime on Enterprise because Terry was working on the show.
David says he says, I keep trying to get into the show, but the characters are all just sorry. I'm just gonna break up on screen because it just keeps bouncing as people are talking. He says, I keep trying to get into the show, but the characters are all just so obnoxious.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is going to be a nausea ride. This is going to be a nausea ride if I don't switch back here. So I'm going to switch. I'm going to turn the Enterprise around. And I'm going to remount. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to record any of this. I'm just going to show it done. I'm just going to show it done once that part is, once I've got it pulled. Just because it's too much of an awkward spot to show the work as I'm doing it on camera.
Jeff says, I thought Klingons were smooth-headed in TOS, and they were.
We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it with outsiders.
Yeah. That was a joke from DS9. I believe my understanding is they wanted to do something like that originally with the TOS series, but they just didn't have the budget for it.
There's a lot that they wanted to do with the TOS series, but they didn't have the budget for it.
Yeah.
Like Jody was talking about lighted chiller grills on TOS ships on his stream.
Yep.
And so apparently that's something that Gene Roddenberry wanted, but they just didn't have the capability of doing it.
Jody says, Burnham didn't have to be Spock's sister. We didn't need Pike in there. He could have just started separately.
Yeah. Well, and had they made Discovery a 32nd century show from the beginning, none of that would have happened.
Very true. Okay, important note here. Jody says, let's vote on background music so Andrew knows for sure if he wants it. He says, I'm a negative. Ken says, I'm still working on the Klingon battle cruiser engines for lighting.
Cool. Now, one of the benefits to the neck here. Oh.
Yes, we're still just on your back.
No, it just wasn't showing it as well as I wanted to. And for some reason, I can't mount this the same way on this side of the desk as I could on the other. So it won't be quite as good of a view, but this is what we've got.
Right. It's a little darker, but we can still see it.
Fortunately, this is symmetrical on both sides.
Perfect.
So what I pulled on one side dictates to me what I'm pulling on the other.
Let's see here. Jeff says, I wonder, couldn't they bring the Phase 2 to life as a series? I mean, we got Mirror Universe, and technically Strange New Worlds is alternate universe. I mean, technically they could do anything they want with the series.
Well, that's kind of gray area because it's, the fans consider it to be alternate universe. The showrunners consider it to be prime universe.
There we go. Blair asks, Andrew, plans for Wonderfest 26?
I mean, there's only 88 days till Wonderfest. I have no idea what I'm going to be able to have at Wonderfest. Because although these are exactly the same kits, this one for the seam work was a brute. It took way more time to deal with the seam work on this one than it did on the other. I don't know why that's the case, but that's kind of what we're working with. So as far as Wonderfest and what I can take to Wonderfest, I'm way behind because I was expecting to be out of this process on this one much sooner.
All right now we're quarter to the hour. Andrew, did you want to run an ad?
Yeah, we'll do that in a moment here. We are manually running ads so that YouTube stays happy, and we're doing it at a time where it's not interrupting what we're doing on live stream, so nobody misses anything. So that's what we're doing there. So I will do that right now. And what's the consensus on the music?
So far, just Jody, and he says he's negative. I can say for sure that one piano track needed to be removed. It was really loud, and it kept going really loud, like really annoyingly loud, and then down to a reasonable level, and then back up again, and then back down again.
I'll have to review the VOD afterwards and see. Wait, what am I doing? Oh yeah, that's right.
Commercial break.
Yeah, we are going to quickly take. Hold on. We're quickly going to take a commercial break.
Oh, hey, wait. Just figured I'd throw that in there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Jody says, I consider it to be the same universe. They all are. He says, it's just that different shows are made by different people and they look different. It's all fiction. Just remember that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the real answer, but fans are always looking for an in-universe answer, right?
True. Jeff says, I think Andrew more worried about getting the models done than really thinking of Wonderfest. And then he's laughing.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Helios on that 350 Excelsior. I don't. The pattern on the neck's just slightly different on this one, on this side.
All right. Jeff says negative. I'm assuming he means the music. Maybe.
Okay.
But we do have 18 people here, so yes, as soon as I said that, drops down to 16.
Oh no, who do we lose?
I don't know.
It's like when I lose subscribers. I'm like, what did I do? I'm assuming it's YouTube cleaning up, cleaning up like old accounts and stuff like that. But you never know. How did I offend somebody this time?
That's okay. It went back up again. Ben says,
that reminds me.
What's that?
I need to show some video, I think.
Oh.
I need to get the opinion of a former police officer.
Oh, okay.
Did
Ben
you do any
Bills.
traffic stuff?
Did I do any traffic stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, basic traffic, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Part of my duties, yeah. Ben Build says, to be fair to the showrunners of modern Star Trek shows, a lot of people who made canon for the older shows went back on it several times or just ignored the storylines altogether.
True.
Alan Kelly says, I am here, gents. Welcome, Alan.
Welcome. I'm just gonna pull this. Oh, that one that piece that came off last time. Sorry, what?
I was gonna say that same one.
No, that same piece so the piece that came off last time that I had to replace has held this time.
Oh,
on this side, which is wonderful.
I was guessing you were gonna say came off again.
No.
Well, that's good.
That went so much easier. All right. And with that, we're going to start placing down some more masking. But let me show you if I can find it. This happened yesterday. Where's the best place to find it? Here. So let's just copy it onto my local computer. Hello, computer. Okay. I'm just going to bring it into my streaming software. So give me your opinion on this, okay?
All right.
So emergency vehicles, fire trucks, pulled over.
Right.
First one, second one, I pulled back in, and then I pulled into the left lane because I knew other traffic was just going to be held up.
Right.
Fire trucks are going at the speed limit here, not much over the speed limit.
Right.
And so I'm in the left lane now. Watch that van in the turning lane.
All right.
The shared middle turning lane.
Yeah. He should be giving you the right of way there.
Okay. Is that what should have happened?
Yeah, he's doing a lane change. You're going straight in your lane.
Yeah. So
that's how I see it.
At this point, he's honking at me all kinds of crazy, and I get stopped at this red light.
Right.
And he's honking and he's honking and he's honking. Okay.
Like, I can understand what his feeling might be is because, well, I only pulled out of the lane because of the emergency vehicles. Although technically he should have pulled over to his right-hand side.
Okay. So,
but that's in Manitoba.
So I am about to go through the intersection and I would have gotten back into the right lane. But he was honking and all kinds of stuff, and it was distracting everybody around. Mm-hmm. So when the light turned green, I accelerated. I've got a good chunk of acceleration with my car because it's instant torque. So I went through, gapped the car beside me, pulled into the right lane, and then turned into our parking lot, which is just up here.
Right. I can see the sign on the side of the road there.
Yeah. And then, so I get in, I park. what that guy did was he went to the next parking lot, pulled in,
Right.
got out of his car, started storming over, and started yelling at me.
Okay. No, I would say you were in the right of way because you were maintaining your lane. He was in the middle of a lane change.
Yeah.
So he's not safe to proceed in his lane change if there's traffic.
And so my thought was there was lots of space for him to pull back in front, between me and the fire truck if he so wished.
Yep.
And he just didn't look.
Yeah.
And I had to avoid.
Yeah. Had he been accelerated more than enough that it wouldn't have affected you, then he was fine to pull in. But because obviously he wasn't, and he was pulling in basically almost on top of you, he should have waited just as per a normal lane change.
Okay.
So I would say he's in the wrong.
Okay.
As a retired police officer, that's what I would say.
Okay. I was kind of curious what you might say because, it was quite an interesting encounter, we shall say.
Yeah. No.
And of course, so I'm trying to be as polite and careful as possible, and I made a point to my car because I got out because I was going into work.
Yep.
And I made a point to. Sorry, I'm readjusting this camera, reinstalling it. So
bear with you, gummy bear that is.
Polar bear with me. So I made it. He was obviously angry, and I mean the language was indicated that, and so I made it very clear, as politely as I could. I simply said, "Sir, you have to pay attention to where you're going," and.
I can tell you what it's called in Manitoba. I don't know what it would be called in Ontario, but as far as the rules of the road are, what he was doing, he was what's called proceed before safe to do so.
Yeah.
He could be ticketed for, in Manitoba, that would be proceed before safe to do so.
So I made it very clear that everything was on camera.
Right.
Including the encounter that was happening.
Right.
Because he was incredibly irate, and I was a little worried he was going to try to get physical. So I was making it very clear everything was on camera, and the guy was driving a company branded vehicle.
Oh, you gotta love that. You're driving a billboard basically for everyone to see. Anyway, yes. So I wouldn't worry about it. Even if you made a complaint, you could show that camera, and police should, in my opinion, agree with you that.
Well, I had a quick look
to do so.
I had a quick look just to see what company it was, and I could not find that company online.
Oh, okay.
And the phone number on the side of the van went to a cell phone.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't seem like it's necessarily a legitimate
or big enough business to
have an internet presence, but everybody's got every business has an internet presence.
Oh, it's dirt cheap to have one,
right? So I don't.
Unless he's gone out of business. Maybe it was a personal business and he's gone out of business.
Maybe
and he still uses the truck. I'm not sure. Okay, let's go back to some. Let's see here. Okay. So, Jody says, I do wish they would make more of an effort to stick with established storylines, yes. But I'm not concerned with the aesthetic. I like the modern look, just not so much like storytelling. And Blair agrees with him.
Don't mind me. I'm just trying to get this thing to focus properly because it's a little blurry here.
It is.
Okay, I need lower secondary hull, which is on the back. No, that's secondary hull pylon wings. Lower secondary hull. These are the... No, that's lower saucer.
Captain Charlemagne, Jeff says, the looks are good. You're right, Jody. The storyline is like letting Worf doing whatever he did on Enterprise E. Blair says, storyline, character development, moral delegates, what made the show, not lens flares, and constant emotional unraveling. He meant moral dilemmas, not delegates. That's kind of what I thought you meant, but sorry.
L3, L5. I'm looking for. It's an upper pylon. That's an upper pylon. I am looking for the parts I'm going to need. I think these are all upper sections I've got here. These pieces here are lower secondary hull. And so there must be more lower secondary hull parts on a sheet, because I was planning to do the upper secondary hull first, and then I realized I wanted to get the neck done. So let me check the sheets here. Upper saucer, dorsal hull, lower saucer, lower secondary hull, and lower secondary hull. Lower secondary hull. What part is fort? Oh, okay. L3, L5 are the parts I've got here. That's on sheet number M7. And then I need sheet number M8 for not those. I need that for L4. And then I need L2 and L1 are on here as well. And then these will be the pylons. Okay. Wow. Lower secondary hull is scattered over a whole pile of sheets.
Jody agrees. He said the van should have waited. You were in the first lane, or you were in the lane first, and you have to yield to moving traffic before you merge. Exactly, Jody. The gentleman was, I'll use the term loosely, that driver was moving from a turning lane into a lane of travel. And then he says comments withheld. Assuming he means the way the guy was acting, possibly. Blair's asking, what's going on around the captain's yacht? He said the weird ring.
Oh, that's that part needs to be installed still. I had installed it, but it was a little bit too far forward and was getting in the way of the Aztec pattern, so I had to remove it. And so right now it's just sitting there. It's still got to be installed. I have to check to see if it's the base coat color or if it's the primary gray color. Because if it's the primary gray color, then I will paint that. What am I trying to say? I will paint it that color before I install it. Now that I know exactly where, because there's no guidelines for where that needs to be installed, and it just got installed the first time, just a little bit too far forward, and it was getting in the way of the Aztec pattern, so I just had to pop it off, remove the adhesive there, repaint the base coat, and it'll just need to be reinstalled. So that's what's going on with that. Which I suppose I could just look on the ship right now and double check to see that it is.
Jody says
it's a gray color.
Yeah, Jody says it should be gray. I think it's different from the surrounding area.
Yeah, so the blue base coat is actually the secondary Aztec color. And the gray color, which is going on second, is the primary Aztec color. And so that ring is going to be the primary Aztec color. So I will pre-paint it, and then I will permanently install it onto the model. Okay. And then this is always a tricky bit here. I'm just looking on the model to see if I can tell where exactly that's gonna. Oh, that sits further back. Got it. This piece sits further back. That piece is gonna sit right here. So it's. I was thinking. Oh, you couldn't see what I was doing. So this piece is this piece here, which is going to sit just behind the post on here. But I'm going to get the other Aztec pieces in first. But I've got that cut out. The secondary hull pieces are just scattered kind of wherever Wayne could fit them. So this is going to be L1 and L2. They're going to be the ones I think I place first, because they're going to be the ones that dictate where everything else goes. So L1 and L2, they're the last pieces on this scraggly piece of vinyl here.
Jody, when you start saying it's tricky, then he started singing, "It's tricky to rock a rhyme." To rock a rhyme, that's right. It's tricky. Tricky, 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 tricky.
There are still a couple spots on this that I'm finding need a little bit of attention before the Aztecs go down. So
Like Spot the cat? Spot. Data's cat. Spot.
Oh, got it.
It's the Enterprise D. Data
I heard Bob. What I heard, I didn't hear Spot the cat. What I heard was Bob the cat. I'm like,
oh no, why Spot the cat?
What? Felis catus is your taxonomic nomenclature, an endothermic quadruped carnivorous by nature. Your visual, olfactory, and auditory senses contribute to your hunting skills and natural defenses. I find myself intrigued by your subvocal oscillations, and that's as far as I can go in quoting Ode to Spot.
But Jody says is talking about how it's not difficult. He says it's not though. It's super easy for me, barely an inconvenience.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he means for it being tricky.
I'm looking forward to. I think the deep dive on the Aztecs. I should be able to get the base. This episode number 3 or deep dive video number 3 is going to be the rest of the base Aztecs. That'll be all one video, because the saucer is fairly complicated as far as those pie patterns. The neck is tricky, but the rest of it should go fairly quickly, and should be done in the one video. And then I'm thinking that because the 3rd and 4th paint passes are basically an identical process, I will in video 4 I will show the process on the first color, and then I will just do the process on the second one and show the results. And we should have the Aztecs done in the 4 videos.
Well, there you go. I was gonna say, yeah, that neck, Aztecing there looks so much less busy than the under part of the saucer does there.
Yeah. And then once the Aztecing is done, that's the brute amount of paint on the thing. And then it's a matter of, we're going to get the detail paint done. We're going to get clear coat on. We're going to get decals on.
Also, I need to talk to you about decals as well.
Yes.
I saw a video recently for one of the other modelers I watch. He doesn't do sci-fi at all. He does more aircraft, the armor, that sort of thing. Now he
Uh-huh.
was showing a new a technique that he uses for his decals. He just found that works for a lot of decal brands, except for like Tamiya and a couple others, where you do your clear coat or whatever, you lay your decals down, and then what he does once the decal is dried, he comes across it with lighter fluid on like a cotton swab, and it peels the carrier film off and leaves the paint behind, like the paint of the decal behind. And you can watch his video and he does it. So if you have a spare decal on that spare piece of Enterprise B to try that on. Because that, and it looks awesome. It just looks like it was painted on afterwards. I'm not saying do it for that, just for the decals for like the Enterprise, like the registries and stuff. Do you want me to send you a link to the guy's video?
Yeah, send me a link to the video because I'm just trying to figure out how that works, because the print of the on the decal is above the carrier film, unless it's only eliminating the carrier film around the print.
Now, it depends on the decals, though. It may not work with these, because if you're using someone's printed homemade where they just have decal carrier film and that's been printed onto, but if you have somebody's silk screened printed or any other 3D sort of printed, it removes it.
So the decals for this are a UV.
So does it have a carrier film placed over top of it when it's done?
Not over top of it. No, it's
Okay.
it's printed onto the carrier film, right?
Right. Let's see here.
Which is how the commercial ones are done. They're silk screened on top of the carrier film, right? Aren't they?
They are colored. There's onto whatever, and then there's a layer put down on top of it. I'll find the gentleman, and he's starting to do with all his stuff, his decals. I will send you the video once I find his video. He released one other video since then, and I watched that, so it's not high in my list of people's videos that I'm watching.
Kevin Shalving says, Andrew, you look like you're not convinced or trying to figure out how that works. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how it would work, because the layers, unless it just removes the carrier film that's extra, right, around. But you said it's lighter fluid, right?
Yeah, just lighter fluid that he puts on a cotton swab and starts rubbing, and it starts pulling away the.
You'd have to be careful. Like,
well, that's why I'm thinking if you have a spare decal to kind of try it.
Yeah,
right?
But like, also, what clear coat is he using that is not disrupted chemically by the lighter fluid?
I'm not even sure.
Because that would be important to find out.
Oh, where is his videos? No, it's going to be easier for me to quickly change and look on my YouTube here. Recently, who have I been watching recently?
Oh, you don't remember who it was?
Well, I know who I know who he is. So I'm just trying to
find his channel.
Well, yeah, find his channel and the video. Once it pops up here that I've watched it, I'll be able to do it really easy.
All right, while you're looking for that, I'm going to record a clip.
All right. Feel free to mute me then.
Yeah, I'm going to record it with this, and so Audacity. Right, I want to do it this way. Wait, am I recording yet? I'm not recording yet. I'm recording the audio, but I'm not recording the... where did I put the keyboard? Where? Oh, found it. It's over there. Okay, record. And let's do this. Here's those neck basks. Basks? What? Here's those neck masks. Now, blah, 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 blah. Beep. Here are the neck masks, and they have been weeded. So if you are trying to figure out which one to weed, although I'm just realizing I need to actually weed the grid pattern up here, not a big deal. But you can pull the masks here and here, and these are in large sections, and that's going to give you kind of where you need to start. And then up here, you can pull the mask that's just behind the torpedo launcher here, right there, and then skip one and start pulling these. Be careful of this fine mask here. It likes to lift up. So just be careful that that remains down on the model. Next, we're going to move to the lower secondary hull, only because she's currently sitting on her back, and it's going to be easy to do that right now. Boop. Done. Live on camera.
All right. Am I still muted or no?
No, I didn't bother muting you.
Okay. I found the video.
All right. You can just send that to me on Discord, right? Right? Hello?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Perfect. Yeah, it was a video he put out 11 days ago, and it's a 10-minute video, so I'm just going to send it to you here in Discord.
I'm just saving the audio that I just recorded.
Yeah, because some decal manufacturers produce decals where you can specifically peel that layer off where it's meant to be. Like Edward does that with theirs. But then he found out with this other technique, you can peel it off a lot of others, except for like Tamiya and I'm trying to think who else he said.
Does he explain why you can't peel it off the ones you can't? Like you can't do it on the ones you can't do it on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And I believe it's just strictly because of the carrier film is too resilient, basically, to be affected.
Okay.
Because like Tamiya decals, people always say they're thick, and they are, and that's probably because it's a thicker carrier film.
Okay. Itty toy.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, there. I should have read. James is talking about it. He saw it. He said, "Was that the video from Plasmo? I feel like I saw that too somewhere." Yes, it is. He did it on the Banshee, but he did a video before the Banshee of strictly on doing that. Yeah, when he built the Banshee. That is correct. Jeff says, actually, now I think about it, do you guys know a method of making sure when placing decals and decal is more rigid and does not try to crumble up on itself when trying to take it off the sheet? It depends on the age of the decal. If it's a fairly recent decal, it helps to use warmer water, like like a regular, like maybe a little cooler than what you wash your hands in, kind of warm water, a little warmer than room temperature. That way it doesn't shock the decal. Cold water can shock it, cause it to kind of try and shrink. And if there are any weaknesses in there, it will cause it to shatter, basically.
Yeah, I've never used decals, so I'm not sure the particular there.
I've bought some decals. I haven't used them yet.
And Captain Shellman says, channel bloopers are always fun to see, but to see it live is just as amusing. Hey, were you here the day I fell off my chair? Or my chair fell out from underneath me? I have a bad habit of sitting at the very front of any chair I sit on. And then I had a carpet, like a small carpet underneath here, just to help reduce the noise, but it would catch periodically and I'd pull forward and there'd be enough friction on the chair, on the wheels, that it would want to stay there. And so it would pull, and then I was sitting so close enough to the edge that it would just tip out and fly out from underneath me.
While we're doing this, do you want to run another ad?
Is it that time already?
It is.
Wow.
It's been over
Jody
half an
says,
hour.
I tried decals for the Trenton, and I think the ones for the Cardassian ship was from Aztec Dummy. But no, Lou doesn't do decals.
No.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have been from Aztec Dummy because he just does masks.
Yeah, that could have been strictly the kit decals or aftermarket decals by the same manufacturer, by Round 2,
Yeah.
aka AMT or whomever.
Yeah.
And I'd be a little leery about using that method to remove carrier film on wallpaper decals.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, there wouldn't be a point.
No. Well, it would make it thinner and look more. If you watch this video, you can see it makes it look painted as opposed to a decal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll give you something to do tomorrow afternoon, perhaps, or I don't know, later tonight while you're going to bed. It's only a 10-minute video.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I'm really trying to figure out how that works, right?
Yeah.
But what I think is that we are running a commercial. That's what I think.
All right. Yeah, no, I watch Plasmo's stuff all the time. He's a good model builder from, I think, the Czech Republic.
Okay.
Czechia now, as I believe it's called.
I noticed that it was a little bit different.
But he speaks English.
Yeah, I noticed it was a little different when it came to the Olympics. So obviously something had happened.
Yeah. Let's see. Gordon says, A creation decals were NAF for my Cardassian ship. Does that mean something I don't know? You're from...
NAF means like they were no good. They were
okay.
Messed up. They were
Okay. Wasn't sure if that was a typo or he just meant that it was like something that the British say. It does sound like a negative term, so yes. David says, yeah, on the weathering on his model is always super impressive. Yeah, he does a good job. Well, and he does super detail. Like you look at his landing gear, David. It's just crazy the detail he throws in there on those builds. Okay. Gordon says those A creation decals just disintegrated in water. Ugh.
Yeah,
I know-
there's a creation Aztec decals for the 1400 Enterprise D, and I was gifted a set from a client who didn't want them because I was building him the ship, and I was painting it, and I was looking at them, and the coloring was all off on them. They sent out bad
batches of
prints.
decals.
They were purple. I mean,
Oh,
pink. They were kind of pink in color. All right, I'm going to just film a quick segment.
all right. I do know some decal manufacturers for the market, like sci-fi market, or people who make decals kind of as a small business. They do need to be clear coated before you can apply them.
Yeah.
There are a few out there that will tell you that in their instructions.
Blah blah blah. Audio. Again, you're getting more behind the scenes of video production here.
Yeah, Jeff, you're in our Discord. I'll throw it up in I don't know, one of the channels here.
All right, I'm going to record a clip.
Okay, I'll mute.
Now that the neck is done, we're moving on to the lower, I guess, secondary hull. I've got the pieces we need right here. And just a little bit of a programming note, you might need to hunt a little bit for these 5 pieces. L3 and 5, which are on these pieces here, are on sheet M7. The middle section right here is on sheet M8. And then the front section, L1 and 2, are here on M9. So they're basically spread over 3 vinyl sheets. That's just because Wayne needed to figure out where he could put them in the most organized way, most efficient way, I should say, for cutting the masks. So the masks for the lower secondary hull are spread over 3 sheets. So just be aware of that when you're looking for them. So M7, M8, and M9 is where you're going to find these 5 sections. I'm going to get these applied to the ship. Again, I am not going to weed these ones first. I'm going to put them on, and then I will weed them after. Okay, we're clear on that.
Perfect. Just before you started, sorry. So yeah, I put it in the tool time in our Discord, the same video I sent you.
Okay.
Gordon says, my Excelsior Enterprise B decals had a rusty colored hue to them. I always clear coat my aftermarket decals. Yeah, you usually should, the aftermarket decals, obviously, except for stuff like the ones that come from the actual kit manufacturers.
It all depends on how they've been produced.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of companies that make them for non-science fiction that do them for aircraft and stuff, and they have companies like Cartograph print them for them, in which case you don't have to worry about it because Cartograph, do the whole silk screening, including the carrier film.
Yeah, so rule of thumb, if your aftermarket decals are an inkjet print, you have to clear coat them. Okay, if they are a laser print, so it's been laser printer application of toner, they do not need to be clear coated. And in the case of the masks, the decals from Keith at Cosmic Scale Models, which I'm using on these. They are a UV print, and they do not need to be clear coated. So rule of thumb, if it's an inkjet print, it needs to be clear coated. Otherwise, it's just going to wash away the ink when you go to put them in the water.
Yeah. See, what it is for decals from most model making companies, it is actually the colors are laid down first with no carrier on it, and then a carrier film is placed over top. So the carrier film is on top of all the colors.
And so that probably wouldn't work for
a lot of these smaller aftermarket ones done for, especially for sci-fi.
Yeah.
But if you have professionally created decals for a model, or like even if it was the regular, say if you're doing an Enterprise D model, and you had the AMT model decals, you should be able to do that. Lay down the decals, use the lighter fluid to remove the carrier film.
Okay. So they're essentially printing the carrier film over top.
Silk screening it.
Oh, they're silk screening the carrier film.
Professional companies that do decals, like the actual like model companies or companies that, you know, are contracted by model making companies, they're always silk screened.
Yeah, I know the decals are. I wasn't aware of the carrier film process, because I always wondered how they get the carrier film to be just slightly bigger than the image of the decal. So
it's just another silk screen layer.
That makes sense.
That's slightly bigger.
And in that case, if the carrier film is silk screened over top, then that makes sense why he'd be able to remove the carrier film doing that. So I'm going to guess that it's not going to be a viable option for this project.
Any of the decals that you have? All right, then.
Because it'll be UV print on top of carrier film.
Right. But everybody can keep that in mind if you're doing your other Star Trek models where you're using the kit decals.
But what I'll say is that I've got a ton of escape pod decals I'm not using, and I have the paint mule that I can test it on, and I can see, because if it leaves the decal, like the image doesn't affect. So if it doesn't affect the clear coat, and it doesn't affect the image, but it eats away the clear coat, I mean the extra carrier film around the image,
it would remove the carrier film on top of the entire image, that entire carrier film. Like
no. So like my decals, the image is on top of the carrier film.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Right?
That would disrupt your entire carrier film, including the paint that's on top of them.
Would it? Because how is it not affecting the material? Under the.
Because it's just not affecting the paint. It's not having enough time to sit there and dissolve it. It's just like how acrylic paints aren't affected by lacquer if they've been there long enough, or vice versa.
So here's what I'm wondering. So you've got bottom layer carrier film. Top layer is the UV print, okay? You put it on your clear coat. You let it dry. Will the lighter fluid remove the carrier film that is outside of the footprint of the image, but not affect the image itself?
Sounds like something that would need to be experimented with.
Yeah. What I will do is I will review the video. I will see what's going on there. And then I will check to see if it's something that might be worth testing. Because if it eats away the extraneous carrier film but leaves the graphic intact, then it might, because it would have to get under the UV print to attack the carrier film that the UV print is on top of, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it might not be able to do that.
It might not be able to. I'm not sure.
It might eat away at the UV print. I don't know. It might be worth testing, because if we could get rid of the
excessive carrier film.
Yes, the extent I can't talk. The extra, right? Then it would make, say, the registry look so much cleaner. But
It would.
yeah, we'll have to see. It might be worth playing around with, and maybe it's an experiment for a live stream.
It could be something good to do on live stream, especially if you have say a decal set for a shift registry or something you may have from a kit that you're not going to use.
Well, here's the thing.
Or a spare one kicking around.
No, I have to test it with the exact type of decal I would need to use on the project.
Yes, but you could also test it for other people. So if they have TOS Enterprise that they're going to slap some decals on, they would know, oh, that would remove the carrier film.
Yeah.
After
the priority, though, would be testing it with the Cosmic Scale model decals to see if that's a viable option.
For sure.
All right, so we are going to put on some masks.
All right, Captain Charlemagne was asking, what does the clear coat do? Yeah, so a clear coat, you can put a clear coat down first to seal in the paint, and then on the model, and then the clear coat on the decal itself seals in the colors of the decal. Let's see here, and yeah, Jody says pretty much the same thing. Clear coat keeps the decal stable, makes it a bit stronger. It should stay together in water. And Gordon,
decals will go on a smooth surface better, and so you want a gloss smooth surface. So that's going to promote the adhesion of the decals much better.
Yeah, less likelihood of getting silvering, where it looks like there's, it's like your decals are like, especially the carrier film, are turning silvered, which is basically just air bubbles underneath it, or air pockets. Gordon says decals printed on a gum base, then the color Edard do it's different. They paint then clear coat, which is removable with lighter fluid or enamel thinners. Check out Edard's decals. Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier, that the Edard decals are specifically made so that you can do that easily. And then this other method that Plamo had been doing was something he had been experimenting with other decals being able to do it as well. And for those of you late to the show, I know we've been, I shouldn't say we, Andrew's been testing out having some background music. Let us know what you think. Is it too loud, too quiet? Is it
too annoying?
Yeah, too annoying. Is it a good fit for the show or not? Let us know.
Oh, actually, is the music still playing?
It is.
Okay. Oh, I'm providing that service I do, where I don't switch the camera around to show you what I'm working on.
That's okay. If you were going to be back soon enough, it wouldn't have mattered.
I don't know why this is so blurry tonight. So my apologies for a blurry above my desk camera. I'm just moving some stuff around because I need to move the desk so I can get around the other side. Come with me and you'll be on a roller coaster nausea ride. Just cutting a hole in those masks for the wires to go through. Are you still there, Ken?
I am still here.
Okay. Sorry, you went super quiet, so I was just worried something had happened.
No.
I mean, StreamYards has been finicky tonight, so...
It has. I'm just waiting to see if there's going to be more comments.
I'm going to have to bridge a gap here. I'm not sure if it's my placement or what.
Well, it does kind of match with that gap there coming down the front of the ship on the neck. Although, granted, you probably don't want that gap there.
Yeah. I mean, that's easy enough to fill in with tape.
Jody says, I already voted on the music. I think it's a distraction. The volume is inconsistent and the music is unemotional and repetitive.
Is it gone?
I can no longer hear the music.
Okay.
Blair says I'd put on First Contact soundtrack.
Sorry, what was that?
Blair says I'd put on First Contact soundtrack. Unfortunately, that's copyrighted. Andrew's using the free
YouTube library.
Music. Yeah. So you don't get a copyright strike. I am so sorry for yawning.
When you're doing videos series like this where you're showing the entire process, it's hard to know just how much to show and what doesn't need to be shown, because like I've shown how to pull these masks, so I don't feel like I need to show that every time.
But you're trying to keep the audience engaged here on a live stream.
Yeah, no, I mean in the video.
Oh no, yeah.
Live stream, yeah. You guys see everything I'm doing on a live stream.
Yeah.
But I'm the video, because I showed how to do this process on the saucer, I don't think I need to show it necessarily here.
And we can't see what you're doing. I'm just saying. We were just talking about it, so I just figured I'd mention it.
I can't see where my button is. There, I can see.
Jody says, you don't have to turn it off just for me. I was just being honest. It's not turning me away from the stream or anything like that. Can we get the rights to the Jeopardy theme? The Final Jeopardy music?
Yeah, nobody gets the rights to that.
Just a little short, is it? Or
I think there's some jiggery pokery we're going to need to do.
do you need to move the front one back slightly?
I think I need to move it forward a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And in order to do that, I'm going to get a fresh piece of carrier film.
And now that it's been another half hour, would you like to run another ad?
No, I think the 2 are good enough.
All right. Sounds good.
And just because it was handy, I grabbed the stuff that Wayne provided.
Well, you might as well use it at some point, right? All right. So, would it be worth using the card? I have no idea.
Try.
Just asking because I've never had to lift geek or masks off like this before. Let's see here. Gordon is asking, is it going to be the 4-color Enterprise?
It is.
And now I have the term jiggery pokery stuck in my head. Thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Glad I could provide that service.
Oh, thank you. Blair says, with all the turmoil in the world, it's really nice to have this creative outlet. Thanks to you all. Jody said, occasionally the music got higher in volume than Andrew's voice, then quiet again. Maybe a few different tracks at lower volume. Don't you play guitar, Andrew? Could you record some nice guitar music?
I only play guitar if it's in the key of G.
You know what? I think that music, it almost needs you know how some TVs have a feature where it keeps everything at the same decibel level? It almost needed something like that to prevent the music from getting louder and quieter and louder and quieter.
Yeah, well, the music's never been like the music hasn't been. What's the word I'm looking for? It was just in my head, and now it's gone. There's a word for that when you normalize all the levels.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Equalize? No. Yeah. Anyway.
Mastered.
Mastered. There you go. Jeff says, I got the TNG theme stuck in my head. And Todd is here. He says, good evening.
Oh,
Says,
swear,
hello and good
Todd.
evening. And Jody says, volume normalizing, he calls it. Jody, why are you asking Todd if he's high? Just about got them all. So then is it worthwhile to put the rear one on first and then put the forward one on?
I don't know about that. The two also didn't get great alignment, so
Right. And now as Andrew struggles with these masks, we should be playing the music from Star Trek where it's the Spock and Captain Kirk fighting, and or Captain Kirk and the Gorn fighting. You know, that music. Da, 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 da. Dun, 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 dun,
bum, 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 bum.
dun. So what
More
is
Star
Todd?
Trek should be filmed at Aztec Rocks or whatever it's called.
Yes, I saw a video. I didn't watch it, but I saw it listed in my. We can't see what you're doing. I saw it listed in my playlist of videos that I could watch of other Star Trek stuff that was filmed at Vasquez Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to. I'm sure it'll pop up again in my feed.
Yeah, I saw that pop up.
Todd, what's Todd been up to this evening?
Todd's probably been doing house stuff.
Could very well have been.
There we go. That's going to have to be good now.
No choice. It has to be good. Sorry, I'm just looking at some stuff on Discord. Jeff, that is, I love your baby Enterprise there. The 3,900 scale baby Starship Merlin / Excalibur class. Still debating the name.
This is one of those cases of best fit and touch up with tape. These complex curves and stuff like that make it a little tough. But we're getting there.
And that's all that matters. Todd says, yeah, I got back from the house. They have to sledge the front door back into place. That's not a good thing.
Sledge the front door back in place.
In place, not closed, in place. And then he says he ate some food and took a nap.
As in sledgehammer?
I'm sure that's exactly what he meant.
That sounds problematic.
Something tells me it may not have been installed correctly.
If you have to take a sledgehammer to it to get it back into place, yeah, I'd pretty much say so. Unless he means something else by sledging. He says,
oh, there we go.
Yeah, they cut the stucco off the bottom corner and literally hammered the studs back straight from what I saw.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting. Bill, it's interesting how building practices are different in different parts of the world.
It is.
Because how they build a home in Arizona would be completely different than how they would build a home here in Ontario.
Well, even, in Minnesota, same country, different part of the country, though.
Yeah.
Due to, temperature differences and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, it always amazes me when people in Texas are worried about their pipes freezing if they get a little bit of cold weather, and whereas we get the extreme colds and we don't even think about it.
No, your house is built to be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
Generally, we don't run pipes through the outside walls of your house, for one.
No, I mean, I shut the water off to the outdoor taps.
Yeah.
Ahead of winter.
So do I.
We also don't have elevated floor with a crawl space that's exposed to the outside temperatures with pipes running through there. I think a lot of places down in the warmer states have that, where it's like a crawl space under the house where the pipes go, but it's not like closed off to the to the temperature.
You see that in Canada in some places.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's just the pipes themselves get insulated. And then you can put a wire wrap on it that is actually heated. That keeps the pipes actually heated.
I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't know these things, so.
Yeah, we've had to chase people into crawl spaces under houses before. Fun, fun, fun. And we are pretty much on the hour. I'm assuming we're going a few minutes over, even though we can't see what you're doing.
Are we there already?
We are.
Wow.
About a minute away.
Is Jody going for a doubleheader?
He said he was not.
Oh, okay.
Todd said.
Oh, I'm not showing I'm not showing the mask going down. Oops.
That's what I said. I said even though you're not showing us what you're doing. Todd said
Apologies.
posted pictures in Discord.
Well, I've got this one additional piece that needs to go down. And I don't know why this camera looks so fuzzy tonight. I need to make sure.
I see what you're saying, Todd.
What was he saying?
Just by looking at this picture in Discord.
Ah. Inside thing.
Yeah, Jody said kids will be hanging out, so no second stream tonight. You don't want to do a stream tonight with the kids there and just have them as either A, audience members, or B, guests on your show? Our first guest tonight is...
It's like the Muppet Show with her special guest.
And then go, yay! You run off screen. Saying it's the Trick Mod Show. Yay!
They've brought the Muppet Show back.
They have several times, yeah.
Well, they've just brought it back again.
Oh, that's cool.
And they're doing, and from what I can tell, they're doing it pretty much exactly the way the original Muppet Show was done.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like, I saw a comparison of the like intro thing, and they've basically reproduced the intro shot for shot, beat for beat, and in many cases Muppet for Muppet.
Nice.
So it's kind of nice when somebody who's bringing a show back.
We can't see what you're doing. As you were saying, it's kind of nice when someone's bringing a show back.
It's kind of nice when somebody's bringing a show back and they do it in a way that fully respects what's gone ahead, like what's gone before.
Yes, I think we were talking about that earlier with a different show.
Yeah.
Jody says they're 19 and 20. None of care about Star Trek or Trek mods or Star Trek or models or the Enterprise. Well, it's your show, so they have to talk about what you want to talk about. She said, or Captain Kirk. Are you kidding? He was like a ladies' man.
One piece didn't come.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got a piece that didn't come. You'll put it back on only to realize later that that's a piece that needs to come. That needs to be left off.
Yeah, probably, right? That's the way it works. But
you need to get better guests on your show, Jody. I don't think I'm going to tune in if that's the kind of guests you're getting on your show tonight.
All right. So we've got those masks on. I will weed them later. But it is that time of the night. So let's go back to this shot here. I've still got my tea Earl Grey hot. And so we've managed to get the neck weeded, and we've managed to get the masks down on the lower secondary hull. There's a little bit of cleanup I need to do on the pylons there. There's a couple spots that need a quick shot of the base coat. So I will do that before masking goes down on the pylon section. But I will want the quick shots of base coat to thoroughly dry before I put vinyl down on them. So hope that you guys have enjoyed the show tonight. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to my channel or you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button today. But for now, my name is Andrew. Your producer tonight has been Ken.
Good night, everyone.
Have a great night.